Good morning, students. Welcome to my class. Today we are going to start with a new topic, but at the beginning we are going to remember the topic of the last class. Remember, the last class we practiced the writing skill, okay, about an opinion essay, okay? So can you tell me any expressions that show us addition? That's right, furthermore, okay? And can you tell me another expression that show us your own opinion? That's right, for example, in my opinion, or I believe that, okay? Those kind of expressions show us our opinions, okay? As I said before, today we are going to review a new activity, okay? Today we are going to review in a reading activity. So what is the topic for today? To comprehend the reading through an activity, okay? So today we are going to review that, okay? You have to open your books in the page number 56, okay? Today we are going to work in that, okay? That is an activity of a reading, okay? That kind of activity you can find in the general exams in order to get the proficiency, okay? Hoy vamos a trabajar una actividad de reading. Este tipo de ejercicios son las actividades que usted va a encontrar en una prueba general para obtener la proficiencia del idioma, okay? So today we are going to work in that in order to understand better, okay? So tell me, do you know what kind of activity we are going to do today? Do you know what options you have to choose according to the reading? That's right, so today we are going to review that in order to understand better, as I said before. We are going to practice, okay? It says practice your exam skills, okay? Today we are going to practice your reading and use of English, okay? So we are going to practice a reading, okay? Pay attention to the structure. If you are going to take a general exam, you have to pay attention to the structure, okay? That is the first part that you have to keep in mind. Si usted va a tomar un examen de proficiencia, lo primero que usted tiene que hacer es leer la instrucción, ¿ok? La instrucción le va a dar las pautas necesarias que usted tiene que realizar dentro de la actividad, ¿ok? So pay attention. For numbers 1-8, read the text and decide which option A, B, C, or D best fits each gap, okay? So here we have a reading, okay? That is the first. Lonely Samora's exciting day, okay? I suppose that we are going to read about an experience of someone, okay? So here you have the text, and as you know, here we have some blanks, and we have to complete with the words that you have at the final part of the text, okay? So in order to do the activity, for example, in the number 8, you have 4 options, okay? And we have to choose the better. And in some cases, those words are similar or synonyms. En algunos casos, estas palabras van a ser sinónimas o similares, but we have to find the best option, pero tenemos que encontrar la mejor opción, because we only can choose one, porque solo podemos utilizar una, okay? Una es la correcta. For example, we are going to start to read, okay? Here you have, on April 24th, 1964, various in Socorro, New Mexico report saying a UFO. Okay, so what is the correct option? Okay, in your books you have the options audience, spectator, witness, and viewers. Okay, so if you don't know the meaning of any word, please look for in your dictionary. Si usted no sabe alguna palabra, el significado, busquen el diccionario. That's right. But in this case, pay attention. What is the word? Okay, in this case, we are going to use the letter C. Witnesses. Okay. So on April 24, 1964, various witnesses in Socorro, New Mexico, reported saying of UFO. Okay, for one man, police officer Lonnie Zamora, the encounter was so. You have the option astonished, surprised, ordinary, or excited. What is the best option? Okay, we are going to use astonished. The encounter was so astonished that it distracted him from high-speed car chase. So the answer is the letter A. What grabbed Officer Zamora's was a gigantic cone of blue light rising thousands of feet into the air. We have a mind, a brain, attention, a thoughts. That's right. What grabbed Officer Zamora's attention was a gigantic cone of blue light rising thousands of feet into the air. He went in the direction of what he thought was an explosion. When he arrived, he saw a most unusual view, panorama, landscape, or sight. That's right, the letter D, sight. Two small humanoid creatures were climbing into an extremely large metallic object, standing on rider-like legs at the bottom of a gully. A bluish flame shot out of the bottom of the vehicle and it disappeared into the distance. We have the option suddenly, rapidly, after, or now. That's right, suddenly. Suddenly, a bluish flame shot out of the bottom of the vehicle and it disappeared into the distance. Okay, we are going to continue. Here I have, okay, I can see better. Aquí ya puedo ver bien. The officer go on his radio to what he had just seen. So we have tell, announce, declare, report. What is the answer? That's right, report. The officer go on his radio to report what he had just seen. A survey, monitor, checkup, or control. That's right. A survey of the area later found evidence of the incident. Angular indentations in the country, ground, habitat, country. That's right. Angular indentation in the ground where the UFO had been staying and burned foliage from its takeoff. Okay? So you have to pay attention to the meaning to each word in order to understand better, in order to find the correct option. Usted tiene que estar pendiente del significado, del uso de cada palabra en contexto. Okay? And in this way you can find the correct option. Y en esa forma usted puede encontrar la opción correcta. Okay? That is something complicated, but you have to practice in order to understand better. Okay? For example, here you have a lot of vocabulary that you can memorize, you can use in order to increase your knowledge of the language. Okay, pay attention here. We are going to do the last exercise. Okay, so pay attention. For number 9 to 16, read the text and think of the word that best fits each gap. Use only one word in each gap. Okay, in this case that is a little more complicated, because in this case you don't have any option. Esto es un poquito más complicado. ¿Por qué? Porque usted no tiene ninguna opción. You have to look for the best option, okay? En este caso tenemos que buscar la mejor opción, okay? According our knowledge, okay? We have to put only one word in each space. Solo tenemos que poner una palabra en cada espacio, okay? It could be maybe articles, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, okay? Clauses. En este caso puede ser cualquier tipo de palabra. Artículos, sustantivos, pronombres, adjetivos, okay? That is according to the reading, so we have to pay attention. Tenemos que poner mucha atención, and we can look for the best option, okay? As I said before, we only need one word in each space. Como les mencionaba, solo necesitamos una palabra por cada espacio, okay? We are going to start to read, okay? The title, UFO Caught on Camera, okay? So we are going to read. On the night of August 15, 1950, minor league baseball manager Nick Mariana became. In this case, we are going to use an article, okay? Nick Mariana became the first person to capture film footage of a UFO. It happened as he... Okay, in this case, the option could be a verb, okay? In this case, we are going to use the verb to be. He was spotting the diamond before a game in Great Falls, okay? Montana. Remember, in this case, the reading is in the past, so for this reason I put was. And he was spotting. Which, in this case I need a verb, okay? Which has since become a hotbed of UFO sightings and is close a US Air Force base, okay? So what do you think? What is the option that we can put in that? That's right, in this case I can use and it is close to a US Air Force base. We are going to continue, okay? Here. Mariana filmed two bright dots streaking across the sky with his 16mm movie camera, which he says he had to keep in his car. He sent the film to be developed and then begin to contact local newspaper, okay? After, in this case that is expression, okay? So remember, after, that's correct. After that, he wrote a letter to the Air Force and was interviewed at Malmstrom Air Force Base. After examining the film, the Air Force concluded that it was a possible aircraft and dropped their investigation. While two fighters were laughing at Malmstrom at around the time of the sailing. Mariana instead that he. Okay, that is past perfect. He had seen those two in a different part of the sky. He also claimed that. We are going to use a clause, a connector. That's right, that when he got his film back, several frames that show the spinning discs more clearly were missing, presumably cut by the Air Force. Okay, so that is the reading. Okay, as I said before, in order to do that kind of exercise, you only have to practice because we don't have any rule in order to do that. Para hacer este tipo de ejercicios no hay ninguna regla. Por lo tanto, usted tiene que practicar. Okay, that is a little easier because you can choose any option. Esto es un poquito más fácil porque usted puede escoger una opción. Aún así, the options are similar. Aún así, las opciones son similares, por lo tanto le da un cierto grado de complejidad. In this kind of exercise, okay, I think that is more difficult. Yo pienso que es más difícil. Because in this case, you have to choose according to your beliefs. Usted tiene que escoger de acuerdo a lo que usted piensa, okay? But remember, we can only use one word. Hay en casos que podremos utilizar diferentes palabras. For example, in the case of the verbs, we have synonyms, okay? En el caso de los verbos tenemos sinónimos, de los sustantivos también, okay? But for example, the articles, okay? We can confuse, no nos podemos confundir. So in this kind of exercise is according to your knowledge. Este tipo de ejercicios se desarrolla para saber el nivel que usted tiene, okay? So you have to study, usted tiene que estudiar, you have to increase your vocabulary, usted tiene que aumentar su vocabulario. It's better if you start to read, es mejor si usted empieza a leer a little stories, okay? Unas cortas historias, okay? In this case, you can improve, you can develop your use of the language. En ese caso, usted puede desarrollar el uso del idioma, and then those kind of exercise could be easier. Y de esta manera estos ejercicios le podrán ser más fáciles, okay? So thank you students, that is all for today. Your homework is that you have to complete those exercises. Usted tiene que completar estos dos ejercicios, okay? The two readings, okay? So thank you students for your attention. Goodbye, have a nice day.